Hello, hello, hello. Hi guys, it's Irene here. It's Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific time, and we're here to do intuitive insights where we're talking about intuition and all things related to that spiritual aspect of ourselves. And today I'm going to be talking about equanimity. Yeah, that's a word that used to kind of make me roll my eyes at one time. So I'll be pulling some cards and just waiting for some people to join in right now. So the card decks that I have with me today are, I have the Light Seers Tarot in front of me, and I also have the Crow Tarot in front of me. And I'll kind of use my intuition in a minute to see which one really speaks to me. Actually, the Crow Tarot is making me really happy, so I think I'm going to draw that one. So that is that's kind of a clue as to how to kind of really connect with your intuition is to follow your joy. That's a really huge piece of how we do that. So some folks are coming in. So hello, Labyrinth Light. Nice to see you. So today I want to just say a few words about equanimity. I made a post here earlier, and I'm not sure if I used the word equanimity, but just kind of wanted to talk about how in the midst of difficulties, in the midst of change, in the midst of the ebb and flow of life that happens, sometimes it's super easy to feel inspired and be connected, and other times it's not as easy. And I really celebrate with folks who their life goes smoothly and that there's no ups and downs. I really celebrate with you, and I'm happy for you. And for some other folks, you know, we experience the ups and downs of life, whether it's within us, inside of us, our own emotional state of being, or often it's because of influences that happen on the outside around us. So, you know, whether it might be influences of illness or issues with finances or interpersonal relationships, or you know, I recognize that I try not to be, but I'm pretty what do you call it, ethnocentric? I'm not sure if I'm using the right word. I live in a place that I feel really grateful for, and I recognize that not everybody, you know, I see the suffering that's happening in the world around us. And sometimes it's hard for us to hold, you know, to really feel inspired and feel that, you know, we are held in this web of love and light when we see so much suffering around us. And that is one of the big, what can I say, dilemmas that as human beings we face on a spiritual path. So I'm not here to tell anybody what's right or wrong, but I'm here to, I feel like I want to share what works for me, what doesn't work for me, and things I forget over and over and over again. So the topic is equanimity, and we're also going to do some card pulls today. So the word equanimity is one of the four, like, I am not Buddhist. I will tell you, like, I'm not pretending that I know everything about Buddhism. I have studied it. I really admire it. I've, you know, taken a lot of wisdom and comfort from it. But I'm just going to share a little bit that equanimity is one of what's called the four Brahma Viharas. I think that's how you pronounce it. And it's like the four sublime states of mind or states of being, and there's love and compassion and loving kindness, and I'm just missing one right now. Oh yeah, sympathetic joy. And this idea of equanimity is something that we can turn to when that gives us strength and fortifies us over time, and enables us to build a inner sense of resilience and strength. And it's the recognition that we are part of a web of love and life within the universe, that we are not alone. And when we can develop a practice, whether it's through meditation or journaling, or maybe, you know, having experiences that really allow you to experience that connection, maybe it's being out in nature or whatever it is, or a loving relationship, a really safe relationship with a partner, with family, good friend, therapist, whatever it is, we can begin to develop a greater trust in the mystery of life. And it doesn't mean that everything is always going to be perfect, because we can look back in history. There has always been war, there's always been famine, there's always been disease. And I'm not being a negative Debbie Down here, but I like to talk about what's real, you guys. And it's one thing to come on and say, you know, talk about the love and light, but you know, sometimes things are hard. And I have a lot of clients who come to me and they're really struggling. So, and I struggle a lot because I'm very sensitive, right? So what I have learned is that some of the best things I can do is to develop a practice, a devotional practice, and to something that is, I want to say greater than myself, but it's really myself. And it's really building a connection with the present moment. And it becomes very experiential, and where you know, I can feel grounded in the present moment, and also where I begin to experience and sense that I'm a part of something more. As you know, I work as a medium, I work as an intuitive, and I do Reiki, and I do Jin Shin-Do acupressure, and so on. So I'm not pulling out that list, but I have this experience of these. I've dipped in over the years to try to, you know, understand, find the truth. That's what I said back in my 20s when I turned away from Christianity. And not that I'm pushing against Christianity, but I had some very dogmatic beliefs at that time. And I said to the universe, I said, show me the truth. That's all I really want, because I had some issues around, you know, the male-female equality issues, and the idea that you're going to go to hell if you don't believe in this set of rules. Like, no, I'm sorry, you know, I'm an adult and I cannot accept that. So my quest for truth over the years has just allowed me to explore many, many different venues, different ideas. And one of them has been the Buddhist perspective. And that's where, you know, I've learned about equanimity, the four Brahma Viharas. And that's, so it really helps to sustain us, to build a trust in the mysterious unfolding of our life, as my teacher Carly, she uses that term. And the mysterious unfolding of my life, and just being able to trust that there is a template, there is a web out there, and I know that to be true. However, sometimes as human beings, we forget, because we're in the middle of this thing called life. And we have a brain that is wired to keep us safe, and to keep us when we're going to be safe. I know you haven't missed the deck yet, hon. It'll be just a minute. I'm talking about equanimity, and just what we can do to sustain us when things become really difficult out there. So building a practice somehow in where we can develop that relationship with something that is greater. And it doesn't have to be God or goddess. It doesn't have to be a term. It's just that you just look around you and you see that there's a natural law of the universe. I experience the love that is there. But this takes intention. You're welcome. This takes intention, and just even if it means 5 minutes a day, you know, to kind of open your heart, to sit down and be open, and to say to the universe, please show me the way. And the way will be shown. It's subtle. We have to take time for it, which I don't always do. And when I go off, then I think, well, okay, when was the last time I really sat down and plugged in? I see that this week life has really swept me away. But to have a practice where you can come back to over and over every day. And that's where tarot can come in too. For me, tarot can very much be a practice of, it's a sense of divination practice. Some see it as divination. I really feel that the universe works through it, because I put out a question, and answer is reflected in the cards. And then, and some people just see it as a potential for us to be able to access our unconscious, our subconscious, and to let that something within the card, within the imagery, within the words, to be able to speak to us, and then to help us to move forward, to give us a little bit more insight into our life and our situation, and to help us to remain calm and stable, and so that we can feel more calm, and then maybe everything isn't always perfect, but we can meet the situation, the moment, with more strength, trusting that we're not alone. You're not like a lone tree on the prairies that's just flailing by itself. You're not. You have deep roots. You have deep roots, and you're not alone. You are surrounded, and you are cared for by. There is community that we can turn to, and there's a universe that cares about you. So I want to leave that with you. And we're going to pull some cards here. So we had this amazing, like, I didn't see it. We have clouds here, but there is a super full moon, blood moon, flower moon, eclipse last night. Did anybody see it? I did not, but there's wonderful images of it on the internet. So I'm going to pull a card right now for how can we maintain a sense of stability in the midst of, like, I want to say, the mercurial movements of our environment, of the world around us. How can we maintain stability and connection and centered and grounded? So the card for us is the Ace of Cups. And this is the Crow Tarot, which I absolutely adore. A lot of people love it. It reads really well. So the Ace of Cups is really about feeding. What I'm getting from this is feeding what nourishes our heart. Like in the imagery, you can see there's a crow dipping into the beautiful nectar, the liquid within this cup that's overflowing, and then there's another crow coming behind it, and it's about to deposit something into the cup. And to me, that feels very much like that ebb and flow. In Bhakti Yoga, there's the call and response of Kirtan, and it's that dynamic of yin, yang, give, take, ebb and flow. And so it's not just about giving, and it's not just about receiving. In order for us to have that stability, it behooves us to have a practice where we can give and take. We can see and be there for someone else, and we can allow ourselves to be seen and to receive from someone else. And that's even like with the post that I made this morning. It's Wednesday, May the 25th, in case you're watching this later. You know, can we, some of us spiritual seekers, we're seeking and looking for the divine, but can we allow the divine to see us? Can we be open to that experience of being held? Ooh, what does that bring up? This can be kind of scary. A lot of fears can come up around that. It's like, oh, I'm not good enough. Like, no, this isn't true. Blah, 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 blah. All that brain talk, right? Can we release that? Can we let that go? Can we allow ourselves just to be present with that experience of being loved and being held, and stay with the brain chatter that's going on, and just notice what comes up. It's really hard to receive, to be fully open to receptivity. So the Ace of Cups is here to give us strength, to give us stability. It's really the foundation of the universe is love. I mean, it doesn't mean that we're always going to be just, la-di-da and forgiving of everything and everything's fine, because that's not the nature of us being human. We have boundaries, we have needs, we have desires. It's all natural and it's perfect, but we turn to what nourishes a heart. And the word devotion comes in here. The word devotion is related to the word discipline. They have the kind of similar roots, and it's Mama Kale says it's so hard to trust anymore. Oh, I hear you, I see you, and yeah, when we've had experiences that that have compromised that trust. Oof, it can be really, really hard. So instead of maybe thinking that we have to trust everybody that walks past us or the next person that comes into our life, let's begin by trusting our own heart. And that's the very first place to begin. What can you create in a practice for ourselves where we can be devoted to something that's larger than ourselves? And it doesn't have to be a deity, but it can. It doesn't have to be, God or goddess, but it can. Whatever, it might be nature, it might be a candle, it might be your rose quartz, or it might be an ideal of compassion or liberation, or whatever it is that really sparks joy within you, but we can be devoted to it, and we can allow ourselves to open up and give to that, and then allow ourselves to receive. So it's this cycle, that give and take. I've talked before about the infinity cycle, and it's really, it's a give and take. It's not just one way. So so the Ace of Cups can help give us stability and support when we're not feeling safe. And it's really about loving ourselves. And Mama says, can I just say, Mama, I hope that's okay. Ma, I needed to hear that I'm going through a space where I don't know how to trust myself. Thank you. Oh, my dear. I hear you. I see you. Yeah. Find a ritual for yourself. I don't know if you do have tarot cards, tarot decks or anything, or oracle decks. If you do, you can pull a card or choose a card and put it on your altar, light a candle, for example, the Ace of Cups, and you can use that. In fact, I will make sure that I'll make it on my post. I'll take a photo of this and I'll post it. So if you want to use that image, you can download it and put it on your altar and use this as a visual to help you to be able to, for all of us, to help us to be able to nourish our own heart and nourish that love that is within us, irregardless of who we're around, irregardless. Love ourselves. It's like reparenting ourselves. Okay. All right, so I'm keeping an eye on the time. I always say I like to keep this at 15 minutes, but I just feel, does anybody have a question that's here right now? I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask. And I feel like I may have answered the question. So I'm going to pull one more card. How can we turn to joy this week? What can empower us and turn to joy? And the card is, the King of Wands. I just love these cards. They just speak so true. So the King of Wands is about having that positive mindset. It's, it's in the face of difficulty, keeping that positive mindset, that can-do attitude, I want to say. Tapping into your creativity. Look at that infinity symbol here. So create. Don't be afraid to shine your light. Don't be afraid to speak your truth, and be strong and be bold, and visualize that lion that's underneath that crow, like that strength. You have the strength of the universe to back you up. You have the strength of your own divine creative nature. It is here for you, and you can turn to that and use that as your strength. And then, maybe you need to take time out. Maybe you need to go back and replenish. And then you come out again. So again, it's not just one all the time. And it's not just this all the time. Back and forth, ebb and flow. I don't want to make anyone seasick here. So this is how so this is what we can do over this upcoming week. I hope this has helped you. And I wish you a wonderful week. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your feedback. And I'll be here again next Wednesday. This is recorded right now live on Instagram every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. And I will upload it to my YouTube channel. And I'm going to try to get this going on Facebook. And please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And the heads up that my name is going to be changing soon. I know I've said it before, but I feel like it bears repeating. So if you see the name White Rose Wellness shifting, just check to see that it's still me. You might get a different name in the feed, but that will be coming soon. I'm so excited. Yeah. All right. And if you feel I offer mentorship and readings, so you can find the link in my bio around that. All right, my friends, strength to you. Remember, be devoted to your own heart and to the love of the universe. Allow the universe to see you and go out and create and be confident and just be who you are, because you're beautiful. All right. Much love to you, and bye for now. See you next week.